Hello everyone, myself Kaushik HR. I had secured 240th rank in CSE 2018 and presently I'm in Indian Revenue Service, and this year I've secured rank 380 and I'm expecting to be appointed to Indian Administrative Service. Regarding my overall journey of UPSC, this was my fifth attempt. So I secured rank twice, one in fourth and my fifth attempt. So in all the 5 attempts, I've cleared the prelims and written mains, and I've given totally 3 interviews. So to tell about my strategy, I'll divide into prelims, mains, and interview that may help the aspirants. So in the prelims, many will ask, sir, how are you so successful? You cleared every year. So the main point in prelims is about, actually, if you ask me, prelims is a very tough stage than mains and interview, according to me, because the elimination ratio is very high, and also in mains you can answer what you want, whereas in prelims you have to answer whatever is the expectation of the examiner. So the whole point in prelims is about studying properly and looking at it from an objective point of view. So don't separate your prelims and mains preparation. I don't support that aspect. Whereas what you can do is, while studying, study for the overall knowledge building. Whereas when you're very close to the examination, change your approach. See, for example, if you're studying from prelims point of view, you need to know what are all the fundamental rights, what are the article numbers, how it is implemented. From mains point of view, we'll discuss later. So for prelims, most important would be the test series. Please select whichever test series which you are following. There is a way of solving this test series. Many aspirants fail in this aspect. They'll say, sir, we solved some 20 tests, 30 tests, but then we are not getting good marks. We failed in getting good marks. Why is because in the test series, you just focus on what is the question, what is the answer, but that is not the right approach. What you're supposed to do is, in a test, when you take up a test, what I used to do, let me share my strategy. Whenever you take up a test, once you complete the test, you may take 1.5 or 2 hours. You need more than an hour to analyze your performance. That is where many people miss. So my suggestion is, whenever you take any test, after every test, there will be few things which you'll know. For example, few questions you'll not know the answer at all. That is a new knowledge. Go to the book. For example, if it's history, go to your history book, write down that as a new knowledge, so that you revise that knowledge also. Secondly, there will be few genuine mistakes which you will be doing regularly or repeatedly. For example, not reading the questions fully, or it may be like not reading the options fully. There will be some questions like you'll think this is the question, but you'll not read the question fully. So you'll end up in the end, he'll be asking some negative aspect of it, but you'll write the positive aspect. Or UPSC will set questions such that the first option you think is the correct option, but somewhere the last option will be the right option. So such genuine mistakes, and few areas where you know your strength and weakness. That is one thing which you have to know very well in order to attempt in order to know how many questions you need to attempt and how to plan for a good marks. So what you need is, you need to know your strengths and weaknesses. After every test, find out where you are going wrong, what is working in your favor. Like for example, in few areas you may be good in guessing. In that case, try to use that aspect in the exam also. Like for example, if you are good in polity in guessing, go for guessing in the exam. We call it as intelligent guess. In few areas you may feel very difficult, then don't go for that areas in the examination. So try to know your strength and weaknesses, and try to know your repeated mistakes. Make a list of all these things. Make a list of every mistake which you do. Keep a stick note, stick on your wall. So whenever you're taking up the next test, don't repeat those mistakes. Make a new mistake on the day of exam, I don't mind, but don't repeat those mistakes. By using this approach, you go for self-correction a lot, and you can score very high in prelims. This is the approach which I do for prelims. And for the beginners, sir, how to study for prelims? This is why I said this is because the exam is very close. For the beginners, how to go for prelims means, whichever topic you study, my suggestion is always have a previous year solved question bank with you, topic wise. I repeat, topic wise. Why? Because for example, you study a fundamental rights. What you're supposed to do is see what are all the questions which has appeared in fundamental rights chapter. See if you're able to answer those questions. Sometimes what will happen is, whichever chapter you study, you'd be thinking that few topics are not important. So what you will do is you skip those topics, but UPSC would have asked questions from it. Or the way you understood few concepts would be different. That is the reason, for the beginners, whatever topic you study, always try to solve the previous year's questions. That is why buy a question bank topic wise. So whatever topic you study, you'll have ready-made, by the UPSC questions itself for those topics, keep answering those questions. This is from prelims point of view. My approach for prelims was question bank, and too many tests, repeatedly solving the test. And let me speak a little detail about mains. I've written 5 mains till now. In the mains, what happens is, you all know the format, 7 papers, which are the deciding factors. See, in the mains, most important thing is not about knowledge, it's about presenting your knowledge, how to present your knowledge. So very important would be practice, answer writing practice. But when you are studying itself, make a habit of linking the current affairs to the basic content. For example, if you are studying something about cyclones, if you know something which has happened, some cyclone in the recent times, try to link it. For example, if you are studying something in polity about fundamental rights, something about Supreme Court, then what you are supposed to do is take some Supreme Court judgment and analyze it. So whenever you study the basic part, link it to current affairs. Whenever you study the current affairs, please link it to the basic knowledge. By this, what will happen is this forward linkage and backward linkage. The question in the mains may appear like asking the basic questions. For that, you need to give modern day examples. Like, for example, if they're asking something about women empowerment, how is judiciary responsible for it? You need to know a few judgments for it. Or they can ask some examples itself and you have to link the basic questions. Like they can ask about Supreme Court's role. For that, you need to know, or they can ask, is Supreme Court going in the right direction? Or they can ask something about why cyclone happened here. For that, you have to link the basic knowledge. That is the reason you need to practice forward and backward linkages whenever you study. That will help a lot. Then whenever you come across some interesting facts, please note down the facts and the government schemes topic-wise. Don't analyze the newspaper, don't study the newspaper on a day, don't make the notes on a date manner. That will not help you. Whenever you're analyzing any current affairs, make it in a topic-wise. So for example, if you find some government scheme regarding some environment, you will have a notes for environment, just write down that scheme in that notes. So what will happen is whenever you're studying environment, you will know what all the schemes government is doing. That you can quote in the examples. You need to quote too many examples and facts to get a better marks. This is why approaching. Then when you take up answer writing, there are few aspects you need to cover in your answer writing. Like if there are some concept or if there are some current affairs. In your answer, you need to address the question, few questions you need to address, mainly what is the topic, what is it about, then why this scheme. For example, if it's some government scheme, you need to know why this government scheme is coming up, what is this government scheme all about. Then you need to know about what are the positives, negatives. When you're preparing, if you prepare in this aspect, whatever answer you write, you'll be writing on these grounds itself. That will help you in writing a very good answer. And in the answer, please make sure you have to maintain a very good structure in your answer. Even if you know a little bit of the answer, but write it in a very good manner. Every answer must have an introduction, it must have a body and conclusion. This is expected by UPSC. If you write just the points, you will not get good marks. So please focus on introduction, body and conclusion. In the introduction, you can give, introduction can be some facts or some context or some government scheme, anything can be the introduction. And in the body is mainly whatever is expected by the question. Conclusion, usually it should be positive in nature. It can be way ahead. It can be the summary of what you have explained. All these can be conclusion. So focus on introduction, body and conclusion. And few areas you can focus on value addition when you're writing means. For example, in economy, you can write few graphs, line graph, bar graph. Or if it is some social issues, something about poverty, you will be explaining about the vicious cycle. You can explain that cycle through in a graphic, in a pictorial manner. If it is something in history, art and culture, if it is something about stupa, write a small stupa there. You'll get a better marks. If it is about, like this, if it is about geography, try writing a map. These are all we call it as value addition. And write it in a very neat manner. So the presentation matters a lot in UPSC. So it's about content which you get when you study well. Structure, you will get it by practice. Please organize into multiple points, multiple subheadings. Whenever you write any answer, divide it into multiple subheadings. It can be like positives in that, or it can be like multiple dimensions, so social dimension, economic dimension, political dimension. In that you can further divide into multiple subheadings. So please divide your answer into multiple parts. That is structure. And when it comes to presentation, do many value additions like writing figures, writing maps, all these things. This will help you a lot in GS 1, 2, 3. When it comes to ethics, that is GS4, always remember for ethics, it's about you have to write the answer in your own words. Don't, yes, there are many good books, whatever book you're referring to, but try writing in your own words, whatever definition it is. Try writing in your own words and try to collect as many examples as possible. If you collect as many examples as possible, on the day of exam in the pressure, you can't think. If you already have an example, it may be of any definition of any concept which they ask, you can quote examples. It can be your own life example, or it can be the example of some historical personalities like Buddha, Gandhi, all these people. So focus on collecting as many examples as possible. Try writing two lines of definition, two lines in your own words for every term, your own definition. In a very simple language, don't use any bookish definition. Please explain it in your own words with examples. That will fetch you more marks. And also collect few quotes, because these quotes which you collect will help you in ethics and also essay. This is about ethics. When it comes to essay, please focus. Essay is all about a beautiful and an organized, structured manner of explaining a concept. So essay is something like a necklace. It must be linked very well. So it is like in the essay, what will happen? The first challenge will be selecting the essay topic. So my suggestion is, whenever you are selecting a topic, give a lot of time for it. Just don't select a topic which you think you know well. You may be knowing just few points, 2 or 3 points. For that, if you select a topic, you are supposed to write 8 to 10 pages at least. You will not have content, you will keep beating around the bush. So select the topic in which you can give multiple dimensions. In essay, even if whatever is the topic, you need to give multiple dimensions for an essay. So, sir, how to give these dimensions? What all dimensions? I had a shortcut. What I used to do is, I used to always look at UPSC syllabus. What all UPSC syllabus are there? I used to give those dimensions. For example, I used to start with some historical concept. I used to bring the dimension of society and culture. I used to bring the dimension of geography if possible. Every essay topic will have some political and governance dimension. It will have an international dimension, that is GS2. Then we used to come to GS3. Every essay topic will have your agriculture as a dimension, economy as a dimension, environment, security, and finally morality. If you see, I have covered all the GS1, 2, 3, 4 as different dimensions. So how to identify dimensions is through UPSC syllabus. That is a first-hand document. Next, sir, how to link is what is the skill. For introduction, you can start with some good code. Then you can also write some practical examples, or you can start with a historical example. You can start a hypothetical, like we are in 2050, the world is like this, you can do like that. Or you can also write a hypothetical one, story itself you can build, and you can build your essay on it for introduction. And for the body of the essay, if you practice thoroughly by writing multiple essay, you can link one topic to another topic. Like how you can link society to security, how you can link economy to agriculture, all those things by practice. You need to have a very graceful transit from one dimension to another dimension. This is only by practice. So my suggestion is practice as many essays as possible. Now the dimensions which I have already said. Then very important would be conclusion. In the essay, always remember you need to take a stand. You need to take a stand. You can't be neutral in everything. You need to take a stand and justify your stand. In the conclusion, you need to give suggestions about how to fulfill it. If you have taken a stand and if you are not yet there, then how to fulfill it. So you always remember your essay must be futuristic and positive. It must be very positive, having a futuristic dimension. This is about essay and all the GS papers. Lastly, about interviews, I have faced 3 interviews. In interview, the officially UPSC says it's about personality test, which means they are testing your personality. To test your personality, sir, what are the dimensions they look at? Mainly, they'll have one document called detailed application form, which we call it as DAF. In this detailed application form, all your basic details like the birthplace, the place you come from, your educational qualification, your employment, all these aspects would be covered. And in this DAF, like your hobby, all those sports, adventure activities, all these things will be covered. Based on this, mainly the questions will appear in the interview. It is purely about not what you answer. UPSC interview is all about how you answer, how you tackle those questions. you should be confident and you should have a basic knowledge of all the things about yourself. You should know about yourself. That is, you should know about yourself. That is your personality. And also all your basic knowledge, like if you're a, whatever is the graduation, some basic knowledge about graduation. If you're coming from some famous places, you need to know the basic details about the places. What is the attraction? What is the concept? And also, of course, from your home state. And mainly they'll ask the issues happening around the national issue and your local state issues. So if you can prepare just based on your biodata, that is the DAF, and the issues, it all depends on how you answer, how you project yourself on the day of interview. So being confident, being polite, and being honest will get you more marks. So this is the overall about prelims, mains, and interview what I have faced.